Good morning. It's January the 10th. No, it's not. It's the 12th. No, wait a minute. It's the 10th. Right the first time. It's about minus 18 Celsius, or which is 0 Fahrenheit. And it's a Monday, so that means going around the lake on the creek. Good grief, I can't get anything right this morning. I just realized that my something weird about the way that my hood is snapped up. There, that's better. Also, I'm trying my external mic again, so if the sound is weird, well, that's why. I want to see if it stays connected. Anyway, with all that out of the way, that's why I was distracted too. So, January 12th, January 10th, Monday, January 10th. Minus 18 Celsius. It's a bit warmer, going up to minus 12 today. And it's supposed to be like 0 tomorrow, freezing, and above freezing on Wednesday. So it should be sloppy on Wednesday when I'm out, potentially. They just plowed metallic here against the piles of snow and the nice shiny look to it. If you're watching, please let me know how the sound is and if you can hear it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I expect it to disconnect just because that's what it's been doing, but maybe it won't. Maybe I'll be all right today. We'll see. Also, I've got the the mic is clipped to the coat, and exactly how well that works, I'm not sure either. I took it a bit easy last week. It was bitterly cold again. So I did a couple of walks, but I wasn't very... Why are we all sitting here, people? See, when you do that, the car waited for the bus, but the bus was turning left, so the car actually had the right-of-way. And that just confuses things if you don't follow the rules. Sunrise is at 8:56, so it's very slowly starting to come a bit later, or earlier. On the latest sunrise is about 8:59. So, there it goes. An external mic is disconnected. Okay, well, I won't bother struggling with it then. Unplugging it. Hopefully that doesn't cause too much trouble in the balance here. Okay, well, we'll just stick with this mic then. I just don't know what that is. It doesn't matter what kind of external mic I use, it disconnects. And yet I know, like Walking Commuter, who's the guy on YouTube that started all this for me, he uses Prism app and an external mic. He doesn't have this problem, so how can it be the app? So now I'm wondering if my iPhone, if it's the new iPhone, if it's got a bad connection down there of some sort. I guess the way to test that would be to do a walk without live streaming it. And maybe I'll try that. I'm probably going to walk out this afternoon without live streaming. Go downtown. So maybe I can check it then. Anyway, back to this, just the iPhone mic. Not so bad on a non-windy day. Friday I walked around the lake without an external mic and without talking, and the sound was interesting with the wind. Maybe it's my iPhone. If that's the case, it's liable to remain unfixed because I don't know that it's the iPhone. I've got to figure it out before I Yeah, the sun will come up over there in about half an hour. I've already seen one person walking a dog, so they don't clear these steps, and they're pretty not flat. There's the creek. It's always pretty with the lights this time of morning. Writing wise, I got a big editing job that's due Thursday. I've got a couple of interviews for the podcast this week. Sarah Hoyt and Edward M. Lerner are my guests for the next couple of episodes. I'll be interviewing them this week. And always a million things I can do and should do when it comes to Shadowpaw Press, and publishing, and all of that. No rest for the wicked. The song running through my head this morning for some reason is I hear music and there's no one there. The song I sang way back in a review I was in called This Can't Be Love, which was all love songs of one sort or another. Created by my friend Rob Erson. It's kind of when I got to know him, actually. So he was directing it and had assembled it and played the piano. Sister Jane, who was also a good friend, played the bass. My baby plays the line that's subtle, yet it makes the strongest case. An argument with no rebuttal when she's back on bass. Well, that's where we sang it, I think. We may have changed the words slightly. Just me and her on the bass. That was a fun one. Comes another dog and owner. I don't usually see the dogs by themselves. Based on footprints, I think I had one in the yard not too long ago. So we'll put up there, you can see the flashing lights. The wind is sharp. I may have to cover up my face when I walk back this direction. Even before. I think the wind chill was minus 29 Celsius, which would be minus 20 something Fahrenheit. 22 maybe. 21. Yeah, probably minus 20. Minus 21, something along in there. Wind chill Fahrenheit. Raining. See, there's always people with dogs. That's why I don't have a dog. I'd have to walk. Oh, wait. And there's the creek. Looks exactly the same as everything else this time of year, but except it's flatter, I guess. I have been on it last week. I walked out on it at one point. Don't think I'll bother doing that again. Oh, who's there? Hello, Kevin. I hope to be back daily walking now after more hit or miss over the holidays and the bitter cold. Tomorrow I have to take the car down to South Albert, so I will probably walk along Albert tomorrow, either coming back, probably I'll get them to give me a ride back and then I'll walk down there to get it later. I think we need a new battery in our older car. Cold weather killed it. It's a 2002 Volvo S60, and something that occurred to me just this year is that the battery in those things is in the trunk, which means your block heater, even if it's working, and I'm not convinced that the one in that car is working, does nothing to keep the battery warm because it's in the trunk and the block heater is in the front. So it's possible the battery simply froze. Our current Volvo, which is a 2015, the newer one, our new car, always starts. It doesn't care. 35 below, not plugged in overnight, starts. Has to warm up, but it starts. But this is our second used, well, we bought our Volvo, our first Volvo was brand new when we bought it in 2001, 2002. And had it for many years. It got totaled in an intersection collision. But it was having this problem too late in life. Oh, look at that pretty blue. It's a very Wolf Perot color, if you know the artist, famous Regina artist that paints back alleys. And that's what that color totally reminds me of, is one of his paintings. Totally. It changes because the camera is adjusting to the lights I'm walking under. This has not been particularly well cleared, the path, recently. The wind has created drifts over parts of it here since it was last cleared. Friday was really when, as you will discover if you watch my walk around the lake. This looks like Christmas decorations, but in fact those lights are there all the time. They were there in the summer too. On that hut, presumably the concession stand when there are games in this field. Which there won't be for a while yet here. Hi, what time is it here? It's 8:30. Almost on the nose. Well, they definitely haven't cleared this path. This is unusual. Just the path that's been tracked down in the middle of it. Pretty uneven too. Haven't cleared this path. Yes, it does. I actually started this walk with my external mic and it disconnected within 10 minutes. And I've used two different kinds of mics. They both disconnect within about that time frame, which is why the sound is what it is. It's just what's on the phone, which is not horrible sometimes, but if there's wind it can deteriorate quickly, or a lot of ambient noise. And I don't know the reason. It might be the phone. It almost, in retrospect, may have coincided with switching from my iPhone 11 to this one, which is a 13. That might have been when the problem started, which would seem to indicate the problem is the phone. I thought it was the mic. I thought it was the wireless mic, so I got a wired mic, but it's just as bad. So it's got nothing to do with the mic. Could be the app, except I know, as I mentioned off the top, the walking commuter, who's a guy who walks in Manhattan, kind of started me on all this, uses the same app, Prison Live Stream, and an external mic, and he doesn't have this problem, although he's using a 13 as well, so it may not be an iPhone flaw, it may be my specific iPhone causing the problem. I fully expected this bad to be cleared, so it's behind me. I can already tell when I turn around and head back. I'm going to have to pull the scarf up over my face for comfort. Let's do this side. Last I heard, it's going to be +5 on Wednesday, so it's going to be very wet for a day. And it cools off again later in the week. And it snows, which means we'll probably get fresh ice on the roads. On this path. That's just last week when I came along, the path was fine, but I haven't cleared it since. Clearly, it's not being cleared. Yeah, I'd want to do a few more tests before I pin it down to the phone. I need to do some recordings that don't involve the app. I just use my external mic with the in-phone camera. If it doesn't disconnect during that, then it's probably an app problem. And I did contact the app team. Haven't responded yet. They asked me what microphones I was using. I mean, it acts like a loose connection, but if it's the same plug-in, of course, as your power. If that were the case, you'd think you'd see instances where it doesn't charge. But don't see that, so I'm not convinced it's the phone yet. So maybe today, sometime, when I'm just sitting around the house, I'll just do a test video and see if the sound stays connected for longer than 15 minutes. More like 5 usually when it disconnects. I did make one mistake. I did not put on long johns today. My legs are getting cold. Thinking, well, it's quite a bit warmer. Well, it is, but it's still minus 19. Still below 0 Fahrenheit. Only in Saskatchewan and places like that do we think, oh, it's warmed up to 0 Fahrenheit. Balmy. Hi, Roger. Almost to the next footbridge. Take a traditional look both ways. To the west, to the east, where the sun will be up shortly. See what the walkway's like on this side. Good morning, Colleen. The path is not well cleared. Lots of drifts from that big wind. Change hands again, that one's getting cold. Getting lighter all the time. It's getting lighter all the time. Lighter, lighter, lighter. Trying to decide how far I want to walk today. I know when I turn around I'll be going into the wind, so I may cut this a little short, shorter sometimes, not real short. The drift that's just been beaten down, not cleared. The longer I walk this way, the longer I'll be walking into that sharp wind when I turn around. Yeah. We'll lose some snow on Wednesday, but not a lot in one day. And it snows again on Thursday, I think. So probably whatever we lose on Wednesday gets replaced on Thursday. At least that's the current forecast. If it melts off the roads long enough for them to actually lose some ice, that'd be great. But of course, if it melts and then refreezes and then it gets snow on top of it, that doesn't improve anything. path on the other side of the two bridges is likely to be worse because it's more exposed and even more drifting, potentially, and even less likely to be cleared. So here it's not even beaten down well. Fewer people walking on it. So that slows me down too. Quite a lot. Oof. So yeah, I think when I get to the Pasco Street Bridge, I'll look back up to the road and look back without going any further. It's so much harder work when the walking through snow than cleared path. It's very hard, very rough, so my feet slide every which way. My ankles always at risk of turning. Oh, snowshoe hare. As you can see it there going across the field. And it's much more tiring. A little better here for some reason. I have no idea what the sidewalk's like on Pasco Street. They may have just shoveled snow over it and it hasn't been cleared in any fashion, in which case it won't be much better. Or possibly worse. But we'll see in a minute. There's the bridge. So what I could do is go over on the other side over there, maybe. That'd be different. Let's do that. Then we can see what it's like under the bridge. And on the other side, you see fewer footprints again. Which means walking. There's a bike track, some dog tracks. Big fat tires. That's the only kind of bike you'd want to ride, I would think. Well, I would never ride one at all, but... Under the bridge. See some nice shiny ice. Catches the light over there. Now, my thinking was I would go up here, but if nobody's taking the path, I might just have to turn around and go back. I definitely don't walk too far like there. This is not, it's very narrow too. There should be a path going up to the road, but there barely is. Maybe I'm better off going. Yeah. See how hard packed the snow is? I weigh 235 pounds, and that's as far as my footprints go in. Let me see here. Well, maybe I'm just as well off going up that way as trying to go. I was thinking maybe along this road here would be better, but it looks pretty drifted. Decisions, decisions. Let's go this way. We'll try the road. The snow is actually, as I said, so hard packed from the wind. Like, I'm just leaving superficial tracks in it. Those aren't mine. This is mine. Right there. That's as far as I'm going down in it, even though it's probably a foot deep. That's from, oh, there. But when you do penetrate, it's Zeus. There we go. Down I went because the snow gave way unexpectedly. Okay, I'll try to get up without dropping the camera here. I'm covered in snow. It's hard to get a grip because my hand's going down into the snow too. It would have been a lot easier if I wasn't. So this snow's a lot deeper than I thought it was. That's the problem. It's like ankle deep. So we're going this way and get out of it quicker. Ankle deep, knee deep. Oh, just as I was saying, it was so hard packed, it would support me. It let me down. Literally. Okay. Well, that was fun. Not. But hey, excitement for you, the viewer. One good thing about these temperatures is you can brush off the snow and it's dry. You don't get wet as long as you brush it off before your body heat can melt it. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. That was exciting. I just completely misjudged how deep that snow was, which is easy to do. I knew there was a road there. I don't know why I thought it would be less snowy. Okay, well, we'll get up here. Also got snow in my boots, which is annoying. Around my ankles, there's snow. Now, is there a sidewalk that's been cleared? Yes, there is. Okay. What fun. Okay, so which way shall we go? I guess I'll go down this way. Since it's cleared nicely. Cross over at the next intersection. You enjoyed that small taste of Arctic exploration? This is why snowshoes were invented. I've never walked in snowshoes though. I'd probably fall down in those for sure. Especially the old style. The new ones are smaller, and the old ones are so big, you have to swing your legs out every time you take a step to keep from touching them on each other. And they wouldn't be appropriate here because of there's a lot of snow in my left ankle. It wouldn't be appropriate here because of half the time you're walking on snow. But if you were just out in the fields, it'd be appropriate. My left foot feels like there's a band of ice around my ankles because that's what there is. The snow got into the boot. My right one's okay. It was the left one that went in and made me go down. So the right one didn't get as much snow in it. My second fall of the winter, but this one wasn't painful like the first one. Good thing about falling in snow, it cushions you when you hit. This is the Saskatchewan Express, which I've talked about before, old school, but now used for a performing arts company. They have classes for kids, but they also have a performing touring group. Well, have had, will have again. Not very active the last couple of years, obviously. Where are we on the sunrise? Oh, the sun should be up in 2 minutes over there as we turn around and head back. More deep snow. The clearing suddenly ended. Alright. Road is slippery. This is why some days I decide not to walk. I can't do it every day no matter what the weather, but the weather's... It can be hard to convince yourselves to get out and get going. Really cold days. Especially if it's windy too. Now this is where roads and sidewalks are supposed to be cleared because we have a bylaw that requires it now within 48 hours. The sun may be up behind the trees. Should be down there somewhere, just out of sight. Pretty. Now I've decided I have to put my scarf on. Upper body's warm, legs are cold. Falling in the snow didn't help that situation. Should have known it was cold enough for long underwear. I knew it was, and I was too lazy. I'll be fine. And I will be, but I'd be more comfortable with more leg protection. Now, could go back that way again, but I think not. Let's stay over here. I will go back over to the dike once I get down further. Walk along the north side of it. I am gonna pull up my scarf. Get a little face protection here as I walk into the wind. If I suddenly sound muffled, that would be why. Button now. I'm not quite able to get it. Oh, there you go. Okay. Snapped actually. Now the challenge is getting this other glove back on when I can't use my teeth. Just one darn thing after another. Okay, I'll do it this way. Okay, more fun. The land of the living skies. One of the living skies over there. Land of the living skies. Land of the falling live streamers. least I was able to keep it going this time. When I fell last time, back on November 11th, actually. That's how long we've had ice and snow. Just before that. I fell on ice and I hit my elbow fairly hard. And the live stream ended abruptly. It's this time it kept going. So I could enjoy my struggles getting up. Yes, it is pretty. Land of Living Skies. That's our license plate slogan. Another stop sign up here that we will cross at. Go down by the Neil Bockwell Civic Arts Center and across there the other side of Elphinstone, then back along the dike to get home. I've lived here since I was 8 years old. I should have known what could happen in that snow back there. I was fooled by how hard packed it was, and I didn't know how deep it was. So, snow is tricky that way. When I was a teenager, I made the same mistake in water. Stepped into water I thought was going to be not very deep, but it was like waist deep. So that was a surprise. The thing was, we were sandbagging because of flooding down in Weyburn. We were helping out. And so we were actually standing on a dike, a sandbag dike, I think. And I didn't have any real reference to know how deep the water was. And whatever I looked at, I thought it was shallow, and it wasn't. So sploosh. Oh, look. Snowblower. Carrying something up here. Probably want to be on the other side of the road, if that being the case. Comes over to my side now. He's already been over here. Where he's buried now. Certainly moving it around. Yes, the wind is quite sharp, as one would expect at minus 19 with the wind blowing. Around the lake when it was minus 47 wind chill. This is only minus 29 wind chill, but it's still cold. I'll get over by this guy. I don't know where he's going to go next. This is the Neil Bockwell Civic Arts Center. little art gallery in there, the Art Gallery of Regina. You can see over there the dome of the legislative building, silhouetted against the sunrise right there. Given the state of the path, maybe I won't go on the dike. I'll cross here and stay on the sidewalks to continue on home. Coming up behind me. This is a pedestrian crosswalk, but it doesn't have a light. So I think they're coming. Stone Street. This is College Avenue. College in Elphinstone. If you're following along at home. A chance to see who has and who has not obeyed the new sidewalk clearing bylaw. Well, we're about clear over here. Well, there's a dog. A minute I thought he was by himself, but just on a long leash. Got less wind now that we're down here in the streets. Not as cold as it felt back there where the wind was blowing across the park. Mailbox. I should remember there's one here. There's the dike down at that end. But I think stick to the somewhat more cleared sidewalks. You'll want to check back in the walk to see my exciting tumble in the snow. High drama. Mainly concerned with whether I could get up while still holding onto the camera. It wasn't easy. If I hadn't had the gimbal, it would have been easy. I managed to keep it going and not shove the camera into the snow. I just shoved myself into the snow inadvertently. Change hands again. See that we scraped the road again. Probably hoping that with the thaw coming on Wednesday, some of the road will melt off. Hope it does. And it's going to snow again, turn colder again, so probably short-lived relief. Just one really warm day and two pretty warm days on either side of it. Tomorrow's supposed to be above freezing. Wednesday above freezing. Thursday possibly snow. Last I saw. He was driving too fast. I can tell. An icy road can be misleading that way too because it's smooth. You can move along it at a great clip. It's just when you suddenly have to steer and put on the brakes, you discover that you've been taking your life in your hands by doing so. Almost home. There's Leopold Crescent. And this is the next one, just what I was. reasonably cleared. I think the bylaw says you're supposed to try to get down to this, to the pavement, but that's almost impossible, especially if you have a high traffic sidewalk like this. By the time you get out and shovel, people have walked along it and tamped down the snow. And until it warms up, it's almost impossible to get down to the pavement without backbreaking labor. So even if you get it done within a few hours of the snow, I find in front of our house, there's often already a packed down layer that you can't really get, at least not with my snow shovel. Cameron Street, Angus Crescent, College Avenue. There's Angus Crescent. Nice clearing on this side. Mine's about like this. Done the best I could anyway. Trouble is I have a plastic snow shovel. Perhaps a metal one will scrape it better. But the plastic one is just the right width. Most of the metal ones I see are way too wide. My sidewalk's narrow, so that's actually a pain. Also have an electric snow shovel, but it's a pain too. You have to plug it in. It's heavy. It doesn't save you any effort at all, the way it feels to me. It's just as heavy to push around, heavier to push around, and it doesn't actually clear the snow as well as a snow shovel, ordinary one. It was on sale, so we got it cheap, and well, it was worth what we paid for it, I guess. And really deep snow, I've tried it once or twice. Maybe it's helpful. We also have a snow blower. I've only ever used it once. Kind of the same problem. It's just too much to get it out of the garage. Plug it in. Maybe if the garage got, we only have a car. We have a two-car garage, but it's got cars in it, old cars. That belong to my wife's parents. So the car, when you park it back there, there's a lean-to that it's parked under, overhang, whatever you want to call it, carport. If the snow piles up deep enough, might have to be a problem. I might get out the snowblower. That's about the only time it's worth it. Mostly, as long as you keep driving through it, you don't need to do that. The sun's definitely up. You can see the blue sky over there. You can't see the sun, but I'm sure it's up and shining. Yeah, see, that was actually a short walk. And in the summer, that would have been about a 45-minute, and yet here it is coming up on 55 minutes. Between the slower pace caused by the snow in the path and the falling down, I managed to stretch it out to almost a full hour, so yay me. We'll stop at this intersection up here. All right, well, we'll stop here with a nice view of in the direction of the sunrise. So thanks for walking with me, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye for now.